and my family was at dinner at Applebee's on 95th Street in Lenexa, Kansas. And even though it was 20 years ago, I still remember almost every detail about that day. It was my parents, my brother, myself, and my grandparents, and we were all at dinner. And my grandmother was sitting across from me when I noticed that her menu was upside down. And so naturally, being 11 years old, I just asked, "Why is your menu upside down?" My question was not intended to be an existential question. It wasn't intended to embarrass her, but it did. That's the first time I remember hearing the word Alzheimer's. My grandmother's menu was upside down because the librarian that taught me how to read when I was 3 years old had forgotten how to read herself. So she would hold up the menu as a formality because she knew that's what you were supposed to do. And my grandfather would lean over and ask her, "Are you going to get the chicken salad?" or whatever her favorite was at that restaurant. She would nod her head yes, close the menu, and set it down. But I had unintentionally called her out. Alzheimer's disease is so much more than just forgetting. So seeing her menu upside down was just the tip of the iceberg. After you forget the names and faces of the people that you love, eventually you forget how to speak, how to swallow, how to breathe. Today I'd like to talk to you about the impact that Alzheimer's disease has on our economy, our family members, and what you can do to help. There are currently 5.8 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease. By the year 2050, that number is expected to grow to 13.8 million. Alzheimer's disease kills more people per year than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. In 2019, Alzheimer's cost the United States $290 million. And if we don't have a cure or a significant breakthrough, that number could increase to 1.1 trillion by 2050. In the state of Colorado alone in 2018, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, Colorado Medicaid paid out $596 million for the care of Alzheimer's patients. And that number is expected to increase by 30.9% in the year 2025. That's only 6 years away. Alzheimer's disease does more than drain our economy. It also drains our family members and our friends. More than 16 million Americans currently provide unpaid care to patients of Alzheimer's disease. They're donating 18.5 billion hours of work, which could be valued at $234 billion. Now, these caregivers are at higher risk of mental illness, and they're more susceptible to diseases because they're under intense stress. And most of them are maintaining their own families, their own careers, their own lives, while they are caring for their family member with Alzheimer's and watching them slowly die from this terrible disease. Plain and simple, we need a cure. We need research to find a cure. And in order to complete this research, we need money. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. And it is the only cause of death in the top 10 that isn't even preventable. But you can make an impact. The town of Sterling alone raised $40,000 last year for the Alzheimer's Association through the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Of that $40,000, one person alone raised $30,000 of it. There are walks in your neighborhood. Fort Collins, Sterling, Greeley, Boulder, Denver, Colorado Springs, there's a local walk. So please visit www.alz.org/walk to find the walk in your area. Alzheimer's is not a normal part of aging, and it is so much more than being forgetful. It is a very slow and painful terminal illness. And it is draining our economy, and it is draining our family members, and it is ripping our family members away. So as the Alzheimer's Association says, the end of Alzheimer's starts with you. So please join me in finding a cure. I'd like to open it up at this time to see if anybody has any questions. Yes.
How much of the actual donations go to the research of Alzheimer's?
That's a great question. So the Alzheimer's Association says that 77% of their donations go to the care and research of Alzheimer's. And so the question was, what percentage of donations go to the research for Alzheimer's disease? So they lump that together. 77% goes to research and care and services for the patients and for the family members of those affected by Alzheimer's. Any other questions? Great. Thank you, guys.